So is she in order in misleading people? Mr. Speaker, there are some of us who are naturally high. We don't need we don't need the Njaga. I was born naturally high. I don't need Njaga.
Yes, Pazaris, finish up.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, the thing is, there are places that you go and you hear this fragrance and people say, hey, that's bangi. All right, who is smoking bangi here? I've actually been to certain meetings where people are saying, who is smoking? And you're trying to find out who's smoking. You've always been around smokers, so it happens. But the thing is, I think as a country, we have to recognize that it is readily available. You can order it online. It is delivered to you, including CBD. So I had the privilege of being invited by Richard Branson to his island in Necker. And the reason I was invited there is because he was hosting a number of members of parliament to try and advance and push medical cannabis, because he said we needed it. There was a patient in Canada. Canada, it's legal. There was a patient in Canada who said, I don't want opioid painkillers. They are addictive. I want medical cannabis. And Canada actually legalized it. I remember trying to have this conversation with the former president. And I actually said, you know, we need to consider this when we were in Vancouver for Women Discover. And he said that, you know what, I do not want to do it in Kenya because already there's always talk that it's being smoked even in State House. So the thing is, do it in the future, but not in my tenure. So what I want to say, what I want to say is, let's be realistic. When my grandmother was ailing, I was giving her the scientific medical painkillers. My uncle was boiling bangi for her and giving her bangi tea, saying that this was relieving her pain. So what I'm saying is this conversation has to be had. Our children are readily having it, and there's two kinds of bangi. There's bangi for self-use, and there's bangi where you're trafficking it and selling it all over. So as a country, it's a conversation we have to have. Unfortunately, the religious institutions will say no, but it is already there. It is available readily. Our children are having cookies. Let me tell you, our children are also making cookies with bangi in their houses and selling them. They're having parties where they're getting intoxicated. So let us not live in a box. The fact is...
What kind of parents are you guys?
No, the thing is, it is happening. Yes. Let me tell you, don't say Mr. Speaker, it is happening. It might not happen in my house,
Time up.
But it's happening in somebody...
Songole.
Mr. Speaker, I wanted to join the Honorable Bayer in hoping that one day we will have a motion that will be tabled by somebody here for purposes of us bringing our country back to senses. Because, Mr. Speaker, from this discussion by Honorable Pasaris, you can see how much we have veered away from what ought to be there to what is there. And we can correct what is there by going back to what was not there. Because, Mr. Speaker, there could be very many benefits of psychotropic substances, but those benefits are far outweighed by the loss that it is bringing to our society. And I think that people have not actually gone back to their families to see the kind of damage that is happening in our brains, in the brains of our kids. The mere fact that something has become available does not make it better. I think this is a discussion we ought to have had in camera, because already these things that are going from this house today, Mr. Speaker, are going to make our children bolder, and they are going to promote themselves from cannabis to something even more serious. Because, Mr. Speaker, I know if we make it legal, one advantage is that it will be cheap. But what kind of society are we going to have?
Honorable members, I invite you to read a small book called The Trouble with Nigeria, and see what Chinua Achebe says of some of the things you are saying. Have you gone to places where BHANG is abused and seen how our children look like zombies? Yeah? Anyway, the speaker is not a debater. Rindikiri?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I am a member of the Parliamentary Caucus on Drugs and Substance Abuse, and I have had the privilege of going out to Mauritius.
And what you have just said, I saw it live. There's some street where now treatment is being done by the same so that you can normalize that person. What Mheshimiwa Sunkuri is saying is the consequences of the things that we are trivializing now. I am a Christian, I'm a parent, and a very responsible parent. I am an uncle to one gentleman who has finished his master's, but now he is a zombie as a result of bangi. And when we talk about bangi, we should also include the other type of drugs that our children and even grown-up people are applying. The problem is what control measures can we put to ODHIAMBO so that he takes this and he doesn't take this. Mr. Speaker, we are growing a Christian and a very religious community. We want to grow a country
where people can progressively be themselves. If we don't take care, we will be moving backward, thinking that we are moving forward. If we destroy the generation that is behind us, the future is going to be grim. Mr. Speaker, I really would ask those ones who are pronouncing like it is going to take sweets or biscuits, because that's what you are saying. Let's look at the consequences. Let's look at the consequences that it is taking. And I would love that if we can get more many as possible, this world is going to be better. To join me in that. Mr. Speaker.
Point made. Sioi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think we should not legalize something that already we have seen the results from the youths that we have at the moment. If we can take some time and just go to Mathare Hospital here, our children are suffering. They are mentally ill. The story I was telling, the question I raised yesterday, Mr. Speaker, of a doctor who was a surgeon, a licensed doctor, who did the operation, major surgery in a chemist, is because he had taken some substance. That is why he did what he did. So as much as our children are using it, we are not going to legalize it. Because even what the people are doing at the moment, the rapist, we have cases of defilement, cases of rape case, so many of them. Are we going to let them free because it has become a common thing? We cannot do that, Mr. Speaker. It is not even something to discuss.
Thank you. Mbayo.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika, niruhusu nizungumze Kiswahili ili iweze kufikia wale vijana wangu kule kwa kaunti yangu Kilifi. Mheshimiwa Spika, bangi ni hatari sana kwa jamii nzima. Watoto wetu kule Kilifi wameharibika wengi. Mheshimiwa Spika, zile kesi za unajisi, zile kesi ziko kule kwetu nyingi, vijana wengi ambao wanajisi watoto wadogo wanatumia bang. Hawezi kufanya wakiwa akili zao ziko timamu. Zimechangiwa sana na hizi dawa za kulevya na hasa bangi. Watoto wetu wengi wamekosa kazi. Kazi za polisi, kazi za KDF, wanaenda uwanjani, wanashindwa kukimbia, wanapimwa damu iko na chembe za dawa ya kulevya na hasa bang. Mheshimiwa Spika, niko kama mzazi wa mtoto mvulana na mtoto msichana. Hatutaweza kuendelea kuzungumza kuwa hata debate ikija hapa tuseme bangi iwe. Bangi kama inatumika kama dawa kwa wagonjwa itakuwa ni sawa, lakini haiwezi, maanake watoto wetu wana abuse bangi. Hawaitumii vile inavyostahili. Kama ni dawa iwe dawa, lakini kama ni watoto wetu wanaovuta wachome moshi, hatutaweza kuunga mkono kitu kama hicho. Na wazazi mlioko kama mimi, hatuwezi kuzungumzia mambo ya bangi ya kuwa yatiwe kwa biskuti, yaweke kwa wapi. Kama ni dawa, madaktari waweze kudhibitisha kuwa inaweza kutumika kwa wagonjwa. Lakini kama ni ile inaovutwa, na wale vijana wangu ninawaona, ninakutana nao kaa nao kwenye mikutano, Mheshimiwa Spika, nasema hapana kwa bangi Kenya nzima na hasa kule Kilifi. Asante.
Korere. This was just a statement of Mogaka. Do we still want to carry on?
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker,
Yes, Correa.
you know, I've been staying very close to the bad girl, and I think I'm in that company of very bad girls. But Speaker, having said that, just like Milly, I've never touched a cigarette, anything, bangi, or whatever. But Speaker, drugs and substance abuse is a discussion that we should speak as a nation. It should be a national discussion. Because Speaker, as we speak, a lot of our children are being wrecked by these drugs. And it's not just bangi alone. And Mr. Speaker, you know, if we start talking of legalizing bangi, we are running away from the truth that it is bad and it will kill our generations. The discussion we should have is how are we going to go back to what we were? Because as it is today, in a small village like Doldol, bangi is finishing our children. And we are saying we can legalize bangi. So what are we going to legalize next? Are we running away from our responsibilities as a country and as parents?
Asinyen. Chukua dakika moja moja.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Speaker. As Honorable Owen was putting it, it's a very interesting discussion, but at the same time, it's very emotive, Mr. Speaker. For those of us who have seen people who have gone down with drugs, we cannot even afford to discuss such a discussion here, Honorable Speaker. Bang is bad. If that is what people smoke back home, when we see them acting weird, we see them throwing stones to others, we see them shooting people and doing all the manner of things. It is not a discussion we can afford in a national house like this one, Honorable Speaker. A place like Turkana that borders several countries, Honorable Speaker, our youth have gone down because bang comes from Ethiopia through our borders. And you know our borders are not manned by anybody. If you go to a border of Turkana and Ethiopia, no one is manning it. It is just the Turkana people. So bang leaves Ethiopia through Turkana up to Nairobi, Honorable Speaker, and at times even in security cars.
Time up. MILLY ODHIAMBO.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's very easy to theorize. And I know that it is well-intentioned when people say they want to legalize for medical reason. Yesterday, my nephew was released from hospital. He's become schizophrenic because of use of drugs. It has been a long journey. It has depressed my sister. Mr. Speaker, every time he goes in, we spend no less than 1 million Kenya shillings because we don't even have facilities that deals with that. He has been to Mathare Mental Hospital. Mr. Speaker, it is good to say when you have not actually gone through this. And I think it is good for us as leaders to be realistic about what we go through, even as leaders. That's when people will know the reality we are dealing with as a country. I do not support such.
Honorable members, you know, I represented a young man who raped his mother because he was high on bang. And in court he said he thought the mother was a new girlfriend. Is that what we want to do? Yes, Omongina. I'm telling you facts.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity, Honorable Speaker, so that I can also contribute on this issue. Honorable Speaker, I want to give an example. Last month, a child was raped in my own community. She was raped, she was killed, and
in law, a child is defiled, not raped.
Yeah. She was defiled.
Yes.
And the person who was